Every minute, every second, every day that you have with your family is a blessing. Take it as that. Never take it for granted. We are here, Eddie V's Mother's Day. Look at, I got my beautiful mothers here. My mom, Diane. My mother-in-law, Sita. Love you.
Love you.
My beautiful baby mama here. And wife. And my beautiful son right here, representing Tsikouris family. Mother's Day, coming to eat a good little, I guess it's mid-lunch, before dinner type deal. And just get out here trying to enjoy the day and celebrate and document the memories of Mother's Day with our beautiful mothers. Because you never know. You only got a short amount of time in this life, so take advantage of it. Hug your mom if you got a mom. If you don't, pray your mom's still with you. And at that point, let's go enjoy a good time at Eddie V's.
Let's do it.
Finally sitting here at a table in Eddie V's, and this is definitely one of our favorite establishments when we go out and eat. Definitely top notch all the way around, very consistent on the food, and it's high quality, and the service is impeccable. We're gonna enjoy a great meal. I know what I'm gonna get, probably steak, and you probably understand that and know that too. But what do you think? What are you gonna get, Ma? What do you think?
Probably a lobster tail. Probably a lobster. Yeah, and rice. It's awesome. Crab is good. Yes.
Crab's good.
Oh yeah.
Is that your favorite?
Yeah, with the rice and crab, yes.
Okay. All right. Pass this over to Sia. Sia, tell me what you're gonna eat.
I like her idea. I think I'm having the same thing too. Lobster tail and the rice. Delicious, yes.
Probably maybe like a lobster and a steak.
I think I might actually cheat today and get some of the truffle mac. Truffle mac is legit. I only get to eat it when Harshal comes in town because we're bad together. But I think I'll do that today and enjoy my margaritas since I don't have to drive.
And me, I'm going with steak and lobster. You can bet that. It's the best meal here. And they cut me some home fresh fries. I'll probably indulge in a little bit of that. So it's Mother's Day. Gonna enjoy this meal with the family. And grub. I love it. I love it. So this is what it's all about. Making memories and enjoying the time with people you love.
Big ups to my husband, John, for always taking care of me, making sure I feel special. Big ups to my son, Peter, for always being there for me, being one of the coolest kids that a girl could ever have. So I love my family and just wanted to make sure I chimed in and gave them a little credit.
What's up, guys? I'm John.
I'm Sharice.
And we are back with another TitanMedical movie review just for you. And tonight we're reviewing Boy Kills World.
Boy Meets World. No, I'm kidding.
Don't say that.
It is Boy Kills World.
Boy Kills World.
Yeah.
With Bill Skarsgård. And Sam Raimi is the executive producer of this movie. And you know what? This movie, a lot of people didn't know about it. They didn't do a lot of marketing for this movie. But I seen the trailers because I'm a real movie buff. So I watch everything that's coming out. And I want to give my honest opinion. I want to go see it. So at this point, Boy Kills World trailer was off the hook. I was like, oh man, this is going to be an exciting movie.
Lies.
It was like boom, 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 boom.
Lies. The trailer makes the movie look bad.
I have a totally different opinion on this.
Apparently,
Maybe,
this is why we have two people to give two different opinions.
like I said, when you see the trailer, you know it's going to be action-packed and a lot of killing, right? Or wrong?
You might see some killing, but there's some like things in the trailer, which I won't give it away, that makes the movie look like it's going to be kind of cheesy. And you're like, well, maybe.
Definitely not. Definitely not. I totally disagree with this. I thought it was a really good trailer. I thought it brought people in to see the trailer. And at that point, when you go see the movie, you're gonna be real, real happy. That's just my opinion on it. So let's get to it. So Bill Skarsgård is the main character in this movie. Something happens to his mom. He says he's gonna get revenge, and he starts training like you wouldn't ever believe. I mean, he's training his heart out. He finds this guy that teaches him how to fight, teaches him how to train, gets him stronger. And at that point, one day he decides it's time to really go after this character, one of the other main characters in the movie, and at that point, assassinate her. So at that point, that's what Bill does.
Period. We don't want to give away the entire movie, so John can't even talk about it because it's pretty twisted.
It's awesome. It's awesome. It's so much action and so much violence. You're gonna love it.
It was so good.
It was really good.
I loved all the action and all the violence and all the killing and all the blood.
Yeah, it was super cool. The fight photography, the cinematography of this movie were off the chain.
There was all different kinds of killing I've never seen before.
Yes.
All different types of killing, like people getting killed in ways I've never seen.
Not on film.
So cool.
Not on film. Very graphic kills in this movie, and a lot of graphic kills in this movie, which is really, really cool.
Killing.
I thought the storyline was really good. All in all, man, I'm gonna give this movie at least a 4.3, maybe a 4.4 right in there, because it was really good. I thought, as far as the storyline was good. Obviously, the action was awesome, action-packed, a lot of killing. Cinematography was awesome. The way it was directed was really cool too. It's original style. It wasn't just the normal scene to scene. It was really, really good. The transition of the movie, everything was good. So at least a 4.3, maybe even higher, but I don't want to give too high of a rating away because
Wolverine and Deadpool's coming out, and that's going to be a 5.0.
That is probably going to be the highest rated movie of the year. We'll see. I don't want to set the expectation.
My rating on this movie is definitely going to be a 4.0. I really, really like this movie.
That's good.
For all the violence.
For Tsikouris.
Especially because I went into the movie like, the trailer sucked, like I said. And I was like, well, I didn't know any of the characters. Oh, I knew a couple, actually. Let me take that back. But I was like, I kind of went into the movie that mindset. But of course, I'm here with my husband of, forever, forever, forever. And I need to enjoy my time. Yes. And I'm like, well, a better movie just makes it even that much cooler.
Yeah,
but it was just good. It was a good movie. It had a great storyline. It kept me in tune the whole time. And then the end was a real good twist.
It was.
I was one of those like, oh, didn't see that coming.
Good fight scene.
Really and good, lots really of fighting.
Yeah, for sure.
I mean, lots of killing.
Yeah.
And lots of fighting. It was great.
So if you like violence, you like action-packed things, you like the fast-paced movies, this is going to be the movie for you. At that point, you go see it for yourself. It's your opinion on what this movie is good, bad, or not. So we'll see you next time at the movies. Me and Charisse, we're going to head home, eat some dinner, and go to sleep. We appreciate you guys. Check out the next movie review just for you from TitanMedical Center.
See you at the movies.
Hey everyone, IFBB Olympian Rachel Daniels here. I'm at my home center, TitanMedical Center, with my Titan family, getting some routine blood work today so I can stay happy and healthy for my competitive year.
What's up guys, John here, and I'm with Rachel Daniels, IFBB Pro Olympian and good friend and Team Titan family member. So we're out here right in front of Titan HQ. Rachel's gonna come in for some routine blood work, make sure all her levels are dialed in, all her organs are healthy, and she's working and performing at optimal levels and feeling her best. That's the number one thing, overall health.
Yes.
Right? I always stress that to Rachel. She's a strong competitor. She does everything she has to and even more. So at that point, I don't want her to sacrifice her health. I want to make sure she's good to go and she's feeling optimal and performing optimal. So whether you're an IFBB Pro or just a regular Joe, we can help you feel your best, look your best, and perform your best. So contact us today to tighten up and to join the Titan lifestyle at TitanMedical Center. That's some good looking steak.
One of the big things is I want you guys to take note of one simple thing that you may overlook. John is a strapping, strong 40-year-old, but I'm basically a senior citizen. And we're out here enjoying life, loving life, living it to the fullest.
Absolutely.
And again, that starts with eating right, making sure your blood is right, TitanMedical, and again, having savage women as your partner in the traveling through life. That helps a lot.
And the biggest thing all is if you're a parent, set the example for your kids. Eat right and have them eat right. We don't want child obesity to even rise past where it is now. So at that point, teach your family, and if you don't know, find somebody that does to help you out.
Oh, we're hitting the shots. We're hitting the shots today.
Hi, my name is Pat Russo. I'm a patient here at Titan Medical Center, and I'd like to tell you a little bit what it's like being a patient for Titan Medical. It's a lifestyle. They can help you perform better, feel better, look your absolute best, and raise your overall quality of life. Titan is a concierge medical clinic that caters to every individual's needs. So basically, contact Titan Medical Center via website or their phone line. You call them up, they'll set you up for blood work. You don't have to get blood work done in Florida, especially if you're an out-of-state resident. You can go to either LabCorp or somewhere like that. Once you get your blood work, you'll submit it to Titan via fax or over email. The doctor will get a hold of you. You'll set up an appointment via Skype or, like I said, in person or directly on the phone. You'll be in contact with the doctor. They'll go over your blood work, what you actually need, and what you're actually looking for in your own lifestyle on that. All Titan therapies are sent from a U.S. licensed pharmacy. So being a Titan Medical patient at 43 years old, I'm pretty confident how I look. My lifestyle is much better. For more information, give us a call or visit us at TitanMedicalCenter.com.
What's up, guys? John here.
I'm Charisse.
And we are back with another Cupid's Corner. Awesome, good information that you guys can utilize.
Honestly, whatever doesn't break you will make you stronger. That is the truth.
Every week, if you don't know, we come up with these tips and tricks to help you guys enhance your relationships.
I hope they all see this episode.
Whether it's reigniting that passion or just developing a better, stronger relationship. We went through a lot of these trials and tribulations, so we wanted to give you guys the shortcuts.
I mean, you guys might even do this and not realize it, and your partner might be currently upset at you. So we might help you in that aspect.
This is true. So we're gonna. What's up, guys? John here with my beautiful wife, Charisse.
What's up?
And we're here for another Cupid's Corner. So every week we like to come and give you guys some tips, tricks, things that hopefully will make your relationship successful or your future relationship successful. Things that me and her have occurred, or things that we've really found out from our friends or people that, you know,
or our parents.
Right into us, or our parents, right? You never want to repeat history over and over and over.
Unless it was really good.
Yeah, unless it's good, I guess.
You can repeat history if it was good.
Yeah, but you don't want to make the same mistakes. So that's the big thing.
That's
what
insanity.
we really learn for our history.
Insanity.
Because, doing the exact same thing over and over and over and expecting a different result is insanity.
That is insanity.
So don't drive yourself insane, and you and your partner, if you guys are doing the exact same thing over and over and over, and you're expecting a different result, you're insane, so you don't want to be going to the loony bin.
You're crazy.
It's time to start something else or a new path.
Do something different, exactly.
So this week we want to talk about a couple of different topics, if we can make it in time. If not, we'll make it another show. But the first topic I think that we should talk about, and happy couples do this, mad couples do this, they talk about one thing, and that's another thing, is money, right? So, you know, money's a big one. It's a big one for happy couples or couples that are mad. And usually money's brought up because one person thinks money should be one way and the other person
allocated to something specific.
It should be allocated to another way.
Right.
Now, this is, you know, fine and dandy if there's enough money to go around for what you guys all want to do.
Right.
But even in that circumstance or situation, there might be one person in the relationship that thinks that the money should be allocated into a different direction, right? And if you don't have enough money to go around,
that also could be a very big fight.
That could be a big one, and honestly, that's a really, really big one.
Because it creates more stress on the couple, obviously. Because you're like, oh no, how are we gonna pay for this, pay for that?
Right.
You know, and then you find out that, you know, they bought a meal at Outback for lunch, you know, that was $20, but the $20 could have been put towards the light bill.
Right.
I mean, $20 could have. I mean, you'd be surprised. You'd be surprised. You'd be very surprised.
Even with inflation on the rise, trust
Yeah.
me. You know, that's a big thing. You know, people fight about money because, you know, one person thinks it should be allocated to one way and the other person thinks it should be allocated another way, or spends the money. And then couples literally get into fights or arguments all the time about the exact same topic, which is money, right? Or, you know, at that point, they say, I'm sorry about not making enough money, or we need to start saving. That's the most common response.
You know
for
what
a
a
lot
big
of
one
people.
is? I mean, and I hate to put my parents on blast, so, and my father is no longer here, bless him, but my mom is, so I apologize in advance because I'm sure she's probably watching. But, you know, a big one was, you know, basically giving money to like a family member that might need it, and then not like asking your significant other if it's okay first, or sharing money with a friend, or giving, like, because you might have that, you might think anyway that you have this extra money that you can help somebody out with, and you're just genuinely just trying to help them, but let's just say that you're not communication again with your significant other to make sure that it's okay with them. Because I mean, most of the time you guys are sharing the same bank account, or it's going into one bank account and that bank account's paying all the bills, right? So you really should be making like a decision together on what you're going to be spending the money on. You know, me and John, luckily, you know, when we had money, didn't have money, whatever the issue was, because we've been in both positions now, we still always, I mean, especially with him being a man, sometimes the man doesn't always check with the woman to say or ask, hey, is this okay? Especially if, you know, let's say it's a stay-at-home mom or whatever it might be, then there might be, you know, a power thing where it's like, I'm making all the decisions, you have nothing to say, and that's what it is. But it shouldn't be that way.
No.
You know, and he respects me enough to even be like, hey, listen, what do you think about this? What's your input on this? Is this okay to do? You know, what about getting a new this? Or, well, you know, he just asks. So it's, you know, I think it's a respect thing too when it comes to that. But I really think that that could be a huge issue right there. Just giving out money to family members that need it, because I feel like that's happened probably to a lot of you guys out there.
Yeah, it's a tough predicament too, right? There's two sides to what you said. First is that, you know, even if you're a stay-at-home mom, you know, it's a partnership. You know, that's a job too. It really is.
Right.
You know, so, you know, nobody should be putting you in your place about you staying home or whatever it is, as long as you're taking care of the house and you're doing like a job, basically. That's really what it is. If you're not, and you're sitting home at bonbons all day and you have your feet up and nothing's getting cleaned, there's trash all over, things are a mess, kids are all over the place. At that point, listen, there might be a conversation about you need to really start taking this serious.
Or
but
pull
not
your
about the money
weight.
thing, right?
Pull your weight. Yeah.
You know, at that point, you know, that's one side of it, and it should always be a partnership thing. You know, that's the other side of it. Everything that you guys do should be a partnership, and it really should include your spouse or significant other. That makes them feel more connected to you, more bonded, like, hey, listen, we're really a team, and this really is a partnership. Right. Instead of feeling like an outsider, or like, oh, well, they're just going to make decisions without me, or what are they going to do without my input? You know, that's another big one. You know, and it is what it is. There's a lot of families out there where, you know, one parent might think it's all right to do one thing, and one parent thinks it's all right to do another, or might not think it's all right to do what you're planning to do, either by taking the kids to, let's say, Disney, or, you know, out for meals or whatever it is, because you guys may be struggling, and every dollar does count. Right. You know, that's a big one. And then, you know, with people like I said about the insanity thing, always saying, I'm sorry about not making enough money, or we should start saving. They keep saying this over and over and over, but there's no plan in place to really take you to where you need to go. If you say you're going to start saving, you guys need to come up with a plan together. Hey, listen, every paycheck, we're going to set aside $20, $50, whatever it is. We're going to put it in a jar under the bed in a separate bank account that nobody's supposed to touch, and you just forget about that money and just keep stacking it up that way. That's one good way to save. I know that's what me and Charisse did originally, right? We started saving money in a bank account, and we never touched that money. We acted like it wasn't even there.
Yeah, it didn't exist.
Because if you think it's there and stuff like that,
you'll
utilize
use it,
and you'll make some sort of excuse of why you need to use it,
right?
Whatever it's for. And I'll put that money back in there later on, and that rainy day comes and you don't have that money there. That's a lot of situations, because you never can plan for a rainy day. If somebody really knew what was going to happen the next day, then, they would be betting probably on all these different games or whatever it is to make a whole bunch of different money, right?
Oh, yeah, I'd be betting the lotto all day.
If you knew what was coming the next day, it'd be real easy and real simple, and then we'd all have perfect lives.
Yeah.
But the thing to this is that nobody knows what's going to happen next. We're all flying by the seat of our pants to a certain degree. There's certain precautions you can take, certain preventions you could take, but you're never going to truly know what's going to happen the next day.
Right.
So that's really where you should be prepared for a rainy day. And if you guys are on the saving tip, you guys should be saving together and setting goals financially of what you want to achieve. Whether it was like me and she's like, we want to get a house, right? We want to, buy a business building, whatever it is, you guys should be on the same page about that, working towards the same goal, and things are going to work a lot better. If you guys are both agreeing on it, there's going to be no fighting, and at that point, you guys can work together on it.
Right.
If you guys are fighting about money, then you guys need to cool down and come together like an adult and talk about it.
And then discuss, why is it that you're upset about this being allocated here versus this being allocated there.
Yeah.
And then the next party needs to be able to understand, let them speak. That's a huge one. Please listen to what they're saying and see what makes the most sense. And maybe you guys talking can actually, you can come to some sort of agreement that, okay, this makes sense to do this way versus this way. Sometimes you have no sense at all, right? And that was my dad. My dad had no sense, and he didn't listen, and he just wanted to be a good dad, right? So what he do? We were living paycheck to paycheck. My parents lived paycheck to paycheck, literally barely, okay? And then, we would do he would take me, right after school, he would take me out to Red Lobster. And we'd go to do the endless bucket of crabs, right? So we would go do this endless bucket of crabs. You'd go spend whatever, $50, which $50 to us right then and there was like $1 million today, okay? And then my mom would find out about it. And he was doing it because he wanted to be with me. He wanted to spend time with me. It was coming from a genuine place, right? But my mom would be pissed about it because she's like, you just went and spent $50 at Red Lobster that we don't have. And now we can't pay this, and this. And they would have screaming matches about this in the kitchen, right? And I'm overhearing oh my God, this is terrible.
Yeah.
I'm so sorry, I hate these crab legs. I wish I just had McDonald's, but it is what it is. But you have some people that just don't listen. My dad was one of those people. But you should take a second and just calm down. Don't hang your hat where you can't reach. My mom used to say that all the time. And just, really see what you have to spend. Sometimes you're overspending,
right?
And you don't realize it. And when you do that, you go in a hole.
Right.
And sometimes that hole is very difficult to come out.
It's really difficult to get out of. And that's one big thing about money situation that you guys should talk about as a couple, budgeting, right? Budgeting how much you guys are going to do for groceries if you guys need to, how much you guys are going to spend on rents, how much you guys are going to spend on your mortgage, how much you guys are going to spend on whatever you do, even if it's a trip, right? You guys are having some sort of idea of what you guys are going to spend. You guys are trying to, think it out, and at that point, now listen, always plan for the rainy
curveball. Wait, hold on.
You
gotta give away. I have to bring this up. Remember, I gotta bring up one real life scenario in every single Cupid's Corner. Okay, real life scenario. Us. We were still in that position where we really didn't have any money, at all, living really paycheck to paycheck. I'm working my 9 to 5, doctor's office, whatever. So, we decided to plan this trip to Atlantis, right? And we budgeted this trip out, right? This trip was budgeted, right?
I actually won the trip.
So it was, but you still had to, I think we still had to pay for the flight.
Yeah, so I won the trip basically through my work because how
you did
good
so
I did,
good,
right?
yeah.
So at that point, they paid for me and Charisse, our hotel room. I think they paid for our flight. I'm not sure. I can't remember, but they didn't pay for obviously any food or anything like that when you get to Atlantis.
Curveball.
It's a curveball.
Here comes a curveball. Ready?
So this is the first time me and Charisse were to Atlantis, right? I've been to the Bahamas before, but not to Atlantis. And, at that point, all right, when you go to Atlantis, if you guys had not been there, you're going to pay at least $10 to $12 for a hamburger.
Hamburger?
I'm not talking about a handmade
like
hamburger.
$15
that's
for a hamburger?
Pound. I'm talking about one of those cheap frozen patties, right?
And literally I'm we should probably just split this burger, dude, because I'm we literally don't even have the money for this right now, because now after that we need bottles of water. The water was literally $10 a bottle. I'm so thirsty, and now I have to pick if I want food or water.
Yeah. Listen, we budgeted out for it. We had a decent
But it's a curveball.
It's definitely a curveball. It's something you might not think of or overdo a little bit on your budget. So it's always better to under budget and see what that number be. Very conservative. That's one thing that I preach, that I think about, and it's one of my mantras. Be conservative about things. Like really, all right, if you think it's going to cost $13, you better plan for it to cost $20. And that way, if it costs $12, you're really excited. Hey, listen, you save that money. And even 13, you're like, all right, cool. I was expecting that, but I was even planning for even more. And as long as you're underneath that number, it's going to be a home run of what you're thinking. Instead of thinking, it's going to be perfect. Everything's going to be perfect, and it's going to be $13, and then it goes to $16, $17, $18. Like, oh my God, I didn't budget for this. I don't know what I'm going to do. This is just crazy. Like I'm in this bad situation or scenario.
Yeah.
And I think we've all been there to a certain extent, but the after effect is debt. Right? Because once you don't have enough cash, if you're able to get credit cards, then you start running credit cards up. And then credit card debt starts falling. It starts mounting the percentage of interest. And, for me, even...
They set it up like that.
Of course.
They set it up like that.
Of course. The house always wins.
Just like Amscott. So the hamster wheel.
Amscott's the exact same way. You get in the hamster wheel, you get the money.
Get in there.
Some people might need that advance because there might be an emergency.
But you have to pay you're making the same amount of money unless you get a bonus, which never happens unless you work at TitanMedical.
Or you take another job.
Right? And then, you guess what happens? And you make the same amount of money. You got to go pay your advance. And guess what? You got to get another advance to cover that advance.
And you're paying the percentages on top of it.
You're just stuck in the...
It's a hamster wheel that
you're
you never
stuck
get
in the
out
wheel.
of.
It's
and
terrible.
You just keep going further and further and further, right? And you're just paying them every week, even with credit cards. So, even I think until maybe 5 years ago, I never believed in credit cards.
Oh, he refused.
I'm the type of guy that, listen, if I can't pay for it cash, I
don't
want
won't
it.
lease anything.
Because I don't ever want to go in debt or have something happen and where I can't pay for things.
Right.
Obviously the mortgage on the building that we bought, is a whole different expense, or the house, which, I'd like to pay off as much as possible. But credit cards, the only reason I got a credit card was for the benefits, because we're spending so much money and this was coming right out of a debit. It was just getting taken right out of our bank account with no bonus to it. So at that point, that's what I have a credit card for. We spend it, I pay it off the next day. There's no debt at that point.
And your credit goes up.
And your credit goes up, and you're getting the benefits from the credit.
Yep.
Whether it's rewards or whatever it may be, cash back or whatever it is. So that's just a big bonus for people out there. So listen, if you guys are in a relationship, you guys want to start setting these goals for your financial future. And if you're not in a relationship, go forward. And if you have a bad credit history, try to clean up a little bit, because that's the conversation that I think you should talk about too. Hey, listen, if you're going to get married or whatever it is, you should probably know their financial background. Do they carrying a whole bunch of debt into the relationship that you're going to be maybe on the hook for later on? These are just something that you guys should think about. If you guys are in a relationship, plan it. Make sure you guys' future is a successful one financially too as well. All right, so I think that sums it up.
That sums it up.
That's another Cupid's Corner. Guys, check us out every Sunday, 11 a.m. on ABC. If you miss it, YouTube, TitanMedical Center. That's all you got to do is type it in. Hit subscribe, the all notification bell, so you guys get all this content and a lot more. So I'm John.
I'm Sharice.
And we'll see you next week for another Cupid's Corner.
See you then.